Okay, hello everyone. Today I will presenting about major impact of COVID-19 on tourism industry in Malaysia. Before we start our presentation, let me introduce our group member.
Hello, everybody. My name is Anhas Palapusrapanata, and my matrix number is 204726.
Hello everyone, my name is Yusria Shahid Swandi. My matric number is 208658.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Rubaid Hussain and my matric number is 204814.
Okay, Malaysia tourism. Tourism has an important economic role to play in generating income for the country. In addition to its contribution to the economic development of the country, tourism also generates substantial foreign exchange earnings and job opportunities. Because of COVID-19, it has had a devastating effect on Malaysia economy, particularly the travel and tourism sector. There are four sectors got the impact from during COVID-19. The first is hospitality. Most countries around the world have imposed partial or complete border closures, with travel bans affecting the majority of the world's population. It can cause millions unemployed, uncertainty over economic recovery, and global fears of continuing COVID-19 spread and its future waves. The hospitality industry is the first industries affected, and it will be uh, among the last industry to recover. As we know, COVID-19 has negatively affected the financial, health, and mental well-being of citizens worldwide. Travel and tourism are known as the focal elements of world economics and financial backbone. Without it, the world economy will suffer tremendously in terms of financial and social. There are two options that affected by this sector. The first is financial condition. As a bar chart shows above, in December 2019, hotel sector in Malaysia suffered a loss 80 billion ringgit Malaysia from tourism. In January to March, Malaysian facing increase of losses into 90 billion ringgit. 90 billion ringgit Malaysia. From March to June 2020, they got a big losses into 33 billion ringgit Malaysia. The crisis caused by COVID-19 on the tourism industry is strongly apparent. The current pandemic crisis will not infer any substantial change to the tourism and hospitality sector in terms of its future management, operation, and planning, rather prevail business as usual, like post-crisis business environment. This will be precisely worrying because we should not overlook the fact that the current pandemic crisis has not only aggravated the tourism industry downfall, but also reflect the lack of business resilience and vulnerability of the global hospitality industry players, including Malaysia. The second is decline customer. So many customers had cancel their booking room based on UNWTO. Report shows that 170 rooms were canceled worth of 68 million ringgit Malaysia revenues during the first phase of MCO, which was from 80 to 31st March 2020. The hospitality sector has lost 500 10 million from room revenue, and in the second phase of MCO, the estimate incurred loss is 570 million ringgit Malaysia. Why customer cancel book room? Because they should follow the government protocol to avoid virus spread widely and social distancing. The next chapter will explain by Hussein. I miss yours.
Thank you, Istria. I would like to continue from here. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Again, my name is Mohammad Rubat Hussain and my metric number is 2048114. Now I will give you a brief about main point 2 and main point 3 of our topic. Do you all know that MCO 2.0 is still running in Malaysia as I am talking? So there was a big jump in number of cases in early March 2020, which was a great concern for all over the world. So ride-hailing and rental car sector is affected by this lockdown. So the Prime Minister of Malaysia announced the lockdown via live nationwide telecast on 13 March 2020 to combat with the outbreak. There are restrictions. The restrictions were individuals were restricted from traveling to other states to stop spreading the virus. Also, new laws were made that individuals who are found outside without a valid reason, then he or she will be fined ringgit 1,000 or a month's jail. So all of you can see the scenario, right? You can't come to Malaysia or go out from Malaysia. You can't go out others to other states, and you can't even go out because the law will make you lose. Law will make you fine your for that, and make you this makes loss interest in going outside. I have shared bar chart of recent years revenue of car rental market in Malaysia. As you can see in the slide, look at the revenue 2000 from 2017 to 2019. It was rising very fast. Suddenly it falls on 2020, and decline in revenue means decline in the number of customers, right? So with this, I wanted to show you all how decline in customers have affected the economy of rental car market. Second supporting point is change in the service. So fueled by private hire demand, Malaysia's rental car population had been growing exponentially since 2014. But the COVID-19 outbreak put the brakes on the trend. And as I already told you about the time when everything was in hold in lockdown, now I am going to tell you all about the time when ride hailing and car rental was operating, but there were changes in the service. Changes like reducing the number of available seats, minimizing driver interaction with customers, and requiring both driver and customers to wear protective facial gear. Grab is the most used ride-hailing app in Malaysia. In Grab, they announced the changes of to both drivers and customers by the app, so that everyone should know about the social distancing policy. And for customers, selfies were needed before you request a ride. Though you request a four-seater, you can't ride more than 2 person. Also, you can sit in. We can't sit in the front seat with driver. You can. You have to wear facial mask every time you ride. As you all can see in the picture bottom right, drivers need to avoid customers without mask, and also from 15 April 2020 onwards, everyone must wear mask if they go outside. My main point 3 was in restaurant sector. Increasing number in cases leaded to increasing number of job loss. and decreasing of customers, and also restrictions in delivery services. So all of this sums up to unemployment issue that happened on not only in Malaysia but also all over the world. In Subang Jaya, bubble tea is one of the food industries that was worst hit by COVID-19. According to the observation of Malay Mail, reporter discovered that in SS15 area, which is well known as bubble tea, unofficially named Bubble Tea Street or Bobai Street, 15 of 20 bubble tea shops were permanently closed. While the closure of these bubble tea shops was attributed to their target demographic, mainly university students and young professionals who are unable to study and work in the area during movement control order lockdown that prevents many people from visiting their shops. And second supporting point of this sector is change in the business operation due to at home policy. For now, the fast food chain is only serving customers via drive-through, takeaway, and delivery. Restaurants like McDonald's and Rail Canteen temporarily closed their dining restaurants on mid-March when movement control order began. The business hours also has changed, and the restriction services were restricted to takeaways only, as you all can see announcements in the slide I have given. Conditional movement order control order was effective from 4th May 2020, which allowed restaurants to accept dining. But McDonald's still refused to provide dining because their main priority was the safety, and they continue to offer takeaways until further notice. And in mid-March, many restaurants and cafes in Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, and more were impacted by pandemic, which forces many businesses to become dissolved. Although some restaurants survived the pandemic impact and has reopened for dining. However, it was also reported that many customers were continued to prefer either queuing up or takeaways or using online food ordering system to order and deliver takeaways to home instead. So with this, I end my presentation here. Thank you, everyone. Now my friend Ahnas will continue from here. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, my fellows, Hossein and Isria. So everybody, we've heard about three business sectors, which are the hotel sector, hospitality, and rental car. That they are facing or faced decline on their business sector because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So now let's look into the next sector, which is the aviation sector. But before we get into more concern about it, that you know that during the week of October 12, 2020, the number of scheduled flights worldwide decreased by 46.4% in comparison with the week of October 14, 2019, a year before, with high cross-country variation because of COVID-19 pandemic. So what are the impact through the COVID-19 on the aviation sector? First, of course, loss of financial. So Malaysia aviation industry is projected to lose 13 billion ringgit on 2020 due to the travel restriction that the government applied. And then it's said by Minister of the Transportation of Malaysia, Datuk Sri Wikasyong, because airplane company had been forced to halt their operations since the MCO started. Next. Let's see where AirAsia suffered a record-breaking net loss in the second quarter that ended June 30. As we can see on the first quarter on the 2020, 803.85, and then here is the second quarter, which is they decreased into 992.89. 89. And then next. So the second is the flight cancellation. This one is affected for 1,316 million passengers over Malaysia, and others 1,211 million has postponed their flight. So earlier in Dewan Rakyat We, BN Air Hitam, point out that the three local carriers such as Malaysia Airlines, AirAsia, and Malindo Air have cancelled a total of 169,728 flights affecting 4,316 million passengers, which I mentioned before. Meanwhile, a total of 1,967 million passengers opt for a flight credit over cash refund, that to be per cash flight tickets over 2 years, next 2 years. Additionally, some 628,000 passengers were given refunds that were 399 million ringgit. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard about the explanation from my friends and me. So, what can we conclude from our presentation today? So, in my opinion, the main core problem is the loss of financial, because it led to unemployment and then the lack of income and then demand on the business sector. And also, we believe that the government and the company owner have taken some steps to solve this problem, such as the stimulus, the support of stimulus from the government, and both co-work with a company together to solve this problem. So before I end this presentation, last word that I want to say is we hope that this pandemic or this problem will be end soon, so everything comes back to normal, and as well the business sector. So thanks again for your participation and your attention. Thank you from us from Group 7. Assalamualaikum.